Trade deadline day is here. Best day of the MLB season. Scrolling through Twitter, let's take a look at some of the trades that have happened in the past 12 or so hours. There'll be a lot of these videos coming out today. I'm going to be trying to keep up with these, recording reactions and kind of recaps, looking at the trades that have happened. So we're going to get right into it, talk about trades. A lot of trades have happened just early this morning up to right about now, which is 11:30 my time, Central Time. And talk about some of the trades last night that I didn't cover and yesterday. So starting yesterday, you had the Yankees picking up Luis Garcia Jr. Big pickup for them with an offense that has just been nuked with injuries. I mean, Bellinger's out, Stanton's out, Judge is out, just everybody out. They needed a big guy who is just going to come in and hit for power that Luis Garcia Jr. has, like he has for the Nationals. The Nationals in a tough position. Not that terrible, but certainly somebody that they felt like they could get rid of, be expendable. Good pickup for the Yankees. It slots in, I think, is like their second best hitter on the team. Certainly somebody that can pick up the slack while before Judge and Stanton and all them come back, which hopefully they can get them back. So the Yankees kind of make a push. But also the Yankees have to be looking at this as they've got a really good shot to make it into the playoffs and go far. I mean, obviously make the playoffs. They should make the playoffs. They're one of the best teams in the American League record-wise right now. But to certainly get to the World Series just with how wide open the American League looks right now. So I think that's a really good trade for the Yankees. They give up four prospects, which I am not looking at right now off the top of my head, but it's certainly a good trade for the Yankees. I feel like Luis Garcia Jr. a good get. And the Nationals, it is what it is. You know, you're selling at the deadline, it is what it is. You're going to get what you can. And then the next big one was the Cubs picking up Kevin Gausman from the Blue Jays. Very interesting trade and season for both these teams. The Cubs obviously trying to make it back to the playoffs after falling just short of the NLCS last year. The Blue Jays falling inches short of a title last year. And now they have failed to really meet expectations. Kevin Gausman on the expiring contract. So they trade him. It's very interesting, the Blue Jays, how they've been. It's just been a bad year for them. Everybody's struggled. Vladdy's had his struggles. Everyone on that team just has not played up to how they played last year and how they were able to win the division and get all the way to the World Series and take the Dodgers to 7. So a very good get for the Cubs, who were in desperate need of a playoff caliber starter to help them out. They were very lacking there. And Kevin Gausman's a guy who's going to help that for sure. He can be an ace. He can start a game 1 of a playoff series. He can get you big innings and big starts in the playoffs. So a really good get there for the Blue Jays, or for the Cubs. Good trade for the Blue Jays. Next big one that we'll talk is today. So we'll get back to today, where the Phillies trade for Luis Arraez. Big trade there. Luis Arraez, on an expiring contract. Everybody was kind of talking about him, where he was going to go. The Giants were kind of saying, hey, we're going to really kind of hold on to him and try and get a big return for this guy. And it just seemed like it wasn't really there. The want and everybody wasn't really giving them what they want. So obviously on the expiring contract, and how disastrous that the Giants have been, can't even describe how bad the Giants have been. It's just everything has gone wrong for them this year. And so they get rid of Luis Arraez. They get 2 guys, Ramon Marquez and Marty Gare, I think is how you say that, I believe. No respect to him. But Luis Arraez heading to the Phillies. I've seen reports now in the past couple hours, he'll be taken on first base. Harper will go back to the outfield where he was before his elbow injury, and was that 22 or 23 when they went to the World Series. So we'll see. I think he's obviously a good bat. Obviously, Luis Arraez is one of the biggest interesting hitters, just nutcases in majors who he can hit for a high average, but he's not going to give you much power or anything. Certainly, he fits in on this Phillies team that has a lot of power bats, like a Schwarber, like a Harper. I certainly feel like he can help kind of slot in near the top of that order, get some more RBIs for the lower guys that have been hitting great. Sir, I like this trade for the Phillies. I like Luis Arraez. I certainly am not in the crowd of, oh, he's overrated as a player, which I feel like a lot of people do. But certainly, he has his limitations. But I think as a first baseman, and maybe Harper can be a little bit better out there in the outfield, although he's played pretty well at first base the past couple of years. But maybe he'll get back into the outfield. We've seen him play well. So then, next one that we will talk about is, let's see here. Hold up. Got to get it pulled back up. It was Taylor Ward going to the Mariners. That one just broke very, very recently. It is Taylor Ward to the Mariners. The Orioles selling off a piece for Alex Hopp, Harrison Krelling, and Brock Moore. The Orioles in a very, very interesting position. They have been really bad. And, they've got this core, of Gunnar, Adell, Taylor Ward not really in that. But, they had this core that they brought in, and they had that great season a couple of years ago, won 100 games, but then get swept by the Rangers in their route to the World Series. And then the next year they come up against my Royals after a bit of a disaster, but they came back, were able to rebound, get a playoff series at home. They get swept by the Royals, who that's been their high moment since then as a Royals fan. But it's been then last year was a disaster, and this year hasn't been much better. So it seems like now they're saying they're pushing the red button. Obviously, in the past 20 or so minutes, the breaking news is that they are exploring an Adley Rutschman trade, which if that one goes down, there will be a video. That will be a massive trade. It looks like the Red Sox are in talks. Obviously, Adley's had injury, but we won't go there yet as it's nothing official. Don't have anything yet. But yeah, Taylor Ward, great hitter. He's was on the Phillies, Angels. He's kind of been moved around. But he'll be a good bat, especially for the Mariners. A team that just traded off Luis Castillo. They're kind of in a position here where they're not fully going buyer mode. They're not fully going seller mode. They're trying to just have a little bit of both. And I think it's a really good position for them as they sit behind the Astros in the division, but still in a playoff chase, postseason push. I mean, in the American League, if you're hovering around 500, you have a shot at getting to the World Series. Just how wide open the American League is this year. So I think we're going to see here in the next 6 hours or 5 hours or so that this deadline is open. I think a lot of these American League teams are going to start swinging. That's why an Adley is going to probably get traded because these American League teams are really trying to swing, I feel like. And then the last trade that we will bring up is another one that just recently broke. It's Joe Adell to the Guardians. The big, big trade for the Guardians, who have desperately, for a long time, been searching for a power bat in their lineup. This goes back Josh Bell, Lane Thomas. These are all deadline offseason guys that they brought in that just have not worked. Joe Adell, they're hoping can be that fix. He's a great power bat. He's still young. Obviously, he hasn't lived up to maybe the hype that everybody thought he would coming in to his career when he was the hyped top 10 prospect that everybody thought was going to be great. But he's certainly been good. He's been good. And for Jacob Cozart, the number 18 Guardians number 18 prospect, it's a good return that the Angels are getting. The Angels, for the first time in a while, are fully going sell mode. Maybe Mike Trout trade, not going to happen. It seems like he's willing to stay there, not opt out of his no trade clause. We'll see. I think the Angels are another interesting team that are, had a really bad year, bottom of the American League. So we'll see. They've still got pieces. Zach Neto's another one. They traded off Logan Hoppy on, I think, Friday, maybe Saturday. So it's gonna be the Angels are definitely an interesting team. The Guardians, to talk about their side of it, obviously getting the power bat, certainly necessary. They're in a chase with the White Sox right now for the division. If not, they're in a big wild card hunt. That is, I mean, huge right now. You got the Guardians, you got the Yankees, you got the Mariners, the Rangers, Twins, Tigers are still in it, even losing Skubal. The Red Sox have been on fire as of late. The whole American League is just going crazy right now of just who knows what's going to happen. I think it makes for this next 2 months after today to be so interesting and how teams are going to kind of set up for this. To touch back on the Mariners, as I'm thinking about this now. The one thing that I was going to say is that with the Mariners now picking up a piece, you wonder if that kind of triggers something for the Astros and the Rangers and see what they do, as they have yet to really make any big moves. The Astros, who knows where they could go. All those teams are just kind of in limbo of, they're hovering around 500, could win the division, but do you really want to go all in on a team that maybe doesn't have the pieces? But also, you look around in the American League, and you've got a good chance if you just make it into the dance. If you make it to the dance, you got a chance to go far. Little rhyme to end this thing off. But yes, certainly more videos coming with the trade deadline as we get closer to that 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Deadline. We'll see. Big trades look like they're coming. You want to like, subscribe, do all that. More videos coming. See ya.